During this week, we are going to be getting our very first live in-person Pokemon GO Fest event of the year, and alongside it, we are getting the Serene Retreat event, which is going to be available to everyone. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So this is a pretty big week for Pokemon GO. We are of course getting our very first live in-person Pokemon GO Fest event, and this is the first of 3 of them. This one is going to be happening in Osaka, Japan, and it's specifically going to be for people within that city, along with people who have bought tickets for this particular event. If that happens to be you, I really hope you end up having a good time. It's definitely something that Niantic does well, live in-person events, and I think this year's Pokemon GO Fest is looking to be pretty good when it comes to content. So yeah, I really am excited for all of you who are attending the Osaka GO Fest, and I personally will be attending the New Jersey GO Fest, and that's going to be the week directly after, and I do think it's going to be phenomenal. I think all of the things that Niantic has already announced regarding this year's GO Fest is all stuff that will definitely make it a great event. So yeah, but for the rest of us, of course, if you are not attending any of the live in-person events, do not worry. There is, of course, the global Pokemon GO Fest that's happening at the end of June, and then until then, we also have a plethora of different in-game events that are going to be a bit of a tie-in to Pokemon GO Fest. The first of these is, of course, the Serene Retreat event, and this one is directly connected to the Osaka GO Fest. Even if you're not attending Pokemon GO Fest, or if you have not bought the ticket, you will still have a bunch of really good stuff to look forward to, and I do think that overall, they are doing something really solid for Pokemon GO players. So let's start things off by talking about this Serene Retreat event, and then afterwards I'll talk about some things that you can look forward to for this week. The Serene Retreat event is going to start on Friday, May 30th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until Tuesday, June 3rd at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. This is going to be the tie-in event to Pokemon GO Fest Osaka. Now, we're going to see the following wild encounters during this event. You're going to see Chansey, Marill, Furfrou, Cutiefly, Morelull, Komala, Hatenna, as well as some trainers might encounter Snorlax and Chimecho. These are going to be the Pokemon you will see in the wild, and pretty much every single one of them, except for Hatenna, can be shiny. So good luck out there, you might encounter a shiny if you're lucky. Now the following Pokemon will hatch from 2-kilometer eggs. You'll be able to get Chingling, Munna, Spritzee, and Swirlix. And yes, every single one of these can potentially be shiny. And then during this event, we're going to see the following Pokemon make its debut. Gigantamax Rillaboom will be in Gigantamax battles starting on Saturday, May 31st at 6 o'clock a.m. local time until Sunday, June 1st at 9 o'clock p.m. local time. There's also going to be collection challenges themed around the event spawns. That's something you should try to take care of really quickly because this is actually going to be a fairly short event. And then during this event, from Friday, May 30th until Tuesday, June 3rd, you're going to have the following bonuses in the game. You're going to be able to hatch eggs at half the distance. You're going to get 1.5 times the amount of experience when you hatch eggs. The max particle collection limit is going to be increased to 1600, and you're going to get 8 times the amount of max particles from power spots, and then you're going to have an increased chance to hatch shiny Munna as well as encounter shiny Munna in research task rewards. And then you're also going to have an increased chance to encounter shiny Morelull in the wild and in research task rewards. And then any trainer with a Serene Retreat ticket will also receive the following bonus for the duration of the event. You're going to get 1.5 times the amount of Stardust whenever you hatch eggs. And then during this event, you're going to see the following Pokemon in field research tasks. You're going to encounter Munna, Cutiefly, Morelull, Komala, as well as Hatenna. And just like I mentioned earlier, both Munna as well as Morelull are going to have a boosted shiny rate from field research tasks. And then finally, there's going to be a paid timed research for $1.99 USD or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency. It's going to give you encounters with Munna, encounters with Morelull, as well as 2 super incubators. If you're lucky, you may encounter a shiny of either of those Pokemon. It's not necessarily worth it too much. I mean, you do get 2 super incubators, which is definitely going to go pretty far with this particular event because of the hatch bonuses, but aside from that, you're not really getting too much value out of this ticket. So I would hold off on buying this ticket unless you have $2 to spend, because you could definitely get a lot more value with other tickets. So aside from this Serene retreat event along with this weekend's Pokémon GO Fest, let's talk about all the content that we can expect from this week. For this Tuesday Spotlight Hour, we're going to be getting one featuring the Pokemon GO, and you're also going to have a double Stardust for catching Pokemon bonus, which is pretty huge. If you have a whole bunch of Pokemon with bonus Stardust saved up with your research rewards, it'll be a good time for you to catch them with a star piece turned on. It's going to be happening this Tuesday, May 29th from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, and even though Golett is not necessarily a special Pokemon, you will still want to utilize this double Stardust bonus. Next up, let's talk about the raiding content for this week. So, we are going to have the continuation of Tapu Bulu in 5-star raids, and that means for this Wednesday's raid hour, which is going to be from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, you're going to see a whole bunch of Tapu Bulu raids. If you need this Pokemon for whatever reason, then it'll be a great opportunity for you to get it, but I will say that there are much better grass types that you could get, so you could probably skip out on getting yourself a whole bunch of Tapu Bulu and save those raid passes for Pokemon GO Fest. And then when it comes to Mega Evolution raids, we are going to have Mega Altaria in raids all throughout this week. And then for this upcoming weekend's Shadow Legendary Raid boss, it's going to be Shadow Regirock. And this is a pretty decent Shadow Legendary Pokemon. If you still do not have one, it might not hurt to get yourself at least one. Just get a whole bunch of your friends together and try to knock it out, or you could probably remote into it. And then finally, let's talk about this week's Dynamax content. So this Monday, which is actually today, we're going to have a Max Monday featuring the Pokemon Rookidee, and this is actually a pretty good one because when it comes to Rookidee, it is a dynamic Pokemon in that it's not just good for max battles, but it's also a decent Pokemon for PvP. So I would suggest doing a whole bunch of these just because it's not that difficult to take down, and you can get yourself at least a whole bunch of Rookidee candy, and possibly one that is decent for PvP. So definitely do not miss out on tonight's Max Monday. It's actually featuring a pretty good Pokemon. And then when it comes to the rest of the week, we're going to have Ghastly, Pidove, Rookidee, and Phalanx in max battles. And then when we have the Serene Retreat event, we're also going to see Gigantamax Rillaboom, which is something you should not miss out on. And then finally, let's talk about this week's PvP content. So this is actually going to be the final full week of PvP for this season, which means we're going to have all 3 of the basic leagues open for you to play. Up until this Tuesday, we're going to have the Open Great League along with the Catch Cup Great League Edition, but then afterwards, until the end of the week, we're going to have the Open Great League, Open Ultra League, and Open Master League. It's very important you try to get as many battles done during this week because next week the season is going to reset. So depending on your rank, you're going to get more Stardust with the end of season rewards. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty stacked week, and for all the people who are attending Osaka, Japan for Pokemon GO Fest, they're of course going to have a really good time, but I still like the fact that Niantic is giving us a lot of content for the rest of us. And yeah, if you are attending Osaka, Japan, I really hope you have a safe trip and you just have a really good time while you're out there. I do think Pokemon GO Fest is one of the major highlights every single year. If you have never attended a live in-person event, I really suggest you try to make it out there because it's a phenomenal experience. I'm just personally really looking forward to New Jersey. I think it's going to be a really good time. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that's happening in Pokemon Go during this week. Are you going to be attending Pokemon GO Fest in Japan, or are you going to be staying at home and collecting all the Pokemon from the Serene Retreat event? Definitely share your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it to be informative. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.
진솔아와 함께해